Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7. Now today, got some more summoning for you guys. Now we've been doing quite a few summoning videos in the past couple weeks, but that's because we've been getting a lot of very interesting units, to say the least. The latest one being Knockwall. Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I quite frankly don't really care, because she is going to be absolutely disgusting as a unit. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to pull for her. We definitely are, especially because she's RGB. So super easy to obtain if you have Covenant bookmarks. And we're already starting off with a Spark. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me to make a dedicated video talking about her and just kind of voicing my thoughts. So we'll do it here while we're summoning. I think she's an absolutely disgusting unit, and I am not a fan of her kit. So I wasn't this upset when Lua came out at first, because I was like, oh, okay, it's like a unique thing, that's fine. They've got a lot of questionable units that are one-off unique thing, right? Like Bellion, for example, locking out souls, being one of the most degenerate units in the game. You have, Politis saying no to combat readiness, you have Elena saying no to counterattacks, right? Everyone had like a kind of specific thing that they did. And then for Knockwall, they just decided, okay, well, what's the most annoying thing that RTA players hate, right? And Aola being one of them. Aola is one of the most globally, universally hated units in the game, right? Just super annoying to fight against. Not that she's impossible to fight against, she's super annoying to fight against. And yeah, they decided, okay, well, her S1, just silence and just push back combat, and not just silence, let's push back combat readiness as well. Let's do that on her. Right, and then, you have Archdemon Shadow, for example, who can seal a unit, and that's her entire gimmick, is just being able to seal units and stop their passives from going off. And they decided, well, you know what, she's a unique episode boss. Let's take that ability, and let's put it on Knockwall's S2, just on a really short cooldown, by the way, an absurdly short cooldown, and let's put a seal on there, it's fine. And if that wasn't enough, let's give herself a speed buff, because, yeah, fast units definitely need to buff their own speed to continuously lap the opponent and keep the tempo up, so they have no chance of recovering, right? And we have a unit like this. She's normally permanently pre-banned by most players out there. Even in the Epic 7 World Championships, she was the most pre-banned unit, Lua. She also buffs herself with speed, and she also has a single target, control skill on her S2. She sleeps, right? In this case, we got a seal, arguably a bit better. Situational, right? Both are a bit situational, but I'd say sealing is a bit better, seeing as how many units rely on passives in the game. And then they decided, okay, well, for her S3, we can't just be full degen, and, oh wow, that's a full degen summon right there. Yeah, they're like, we can't just be full degen, right? We're not just gonna copy like Lua's kit or anything. So we decided to do one better, and we're gonna copy Lua's kit, right? We're gonna make sure that she resets everyone, but she also doesn't just decrease buff durations or anything. She just strips all buffs. All of your buffs are gone. Then we get to put Bind on everyone, which nullifies every unit's ability to do something that's not on their turn, right? So counterattacks, extra attacks, dual attacks, stuff like that. You just can't. Just can't do it. So yeah, that's great. So not only do you strip all buffs, and then you put Bind on everybody. But she's just so oppressive. Absolutely disgusting unit, and I don't understand why they made her the way they did. I don't know what they were smoking over there on Smilegate, but whatever they have, I kind of want some of it. This sounds like some pretty good stuff, and I think I'm actually missing something in terms of her kit here. Where is it? Right here, right? Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, there it is. So she also grants another turn to herself, and you can soul burn to ignore resistance. You don't have to soul burn to get the extra turn. You just get an extra turn, because why not, right? So, much like Lua, just why not? Just get extra turns. And then you can Soul Burn to ignore resistance, because, you know, resistance is a, it's just a dead stat in this game at this point. You don't even need units that ignore resistance to do stuff. You have units like Summertime Assyria, Pirate Captain Flan, that are built with like 200 plus effectiveness. You have units like Rowana, like MO Rowana, that are built with 250 to 300 effectiveness easily, right? Because she doesn't need like any other stat besides effectiveness. If you're using her in an aggro or cleave team, sure, you can build her a little bit bulky, but you don't really care about her surviving. It's mostly just her taking the first turn, resetting everybody. You don't even, like, my DJB gets reset by things like that. My DJB gets reset by some Luas sometimes. Fast Luas, without even Soul Burn effect, like, ignore resist, right? They have no mages on their team. Yeah, it's absurd, and also, that is absurd. We got nothing in this summon. Yeah, so that's really just my thoughts on the unit, just kind of breaking it down. I don't understand what they were doing, and I'm not a fan of it, right? I'm not a fan of it. Do I have to keep summoning for her? Yes, I do. I have to summon for her to keep up. Do I hope that they change her kit? Yes, I do. Even as someone who historically has just come out saying, like, I'm against nerfs, I am against nerfs in the game, but just stuff like this I hate. I just absolutely despise. It brings me back to, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And on this channel, some of you guys have found the channel from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos, so for the long-time viewers out there, a little shout out to you guys. But when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the things that I hated the most is cards that affected your hand. So whenever your opponent had something that made you discard cards, or made it so that they can see the cards in your hand and they can take one, or, you know, they destroyed your hand essentially, shuffled it back into your deck, or locked you out of drawing, or something like that, I felt those cards were the worst type of cards to have in the game, because I felt like if you're playing a card game, the hand is sacred territory, right? If you play something on the field, sure, interact with it. That's the whole point. But for something that hasn't even been put down, hasn't even been played, for that to be affected is just degenerate, in my opinion, in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? In terms of concepts of Yu-Gi-Oh! Other card games I have no experience with, but in my opinion, the hand in Yu-Gi-Oh! It should be sacred territory. And I feel kind of like this in general with E7 as well. And one of the reasons why I continue to kind of ban Lua, even though I can kind of fight her, is just that I feel like she's just not... She's breaking one of the rules of like a PvP game, and that's like interaction, right? I know that's why people don't like control units, like they don't like being stunned by Pirate Captain Flans or Solitaries and just controlled all the time, but you have a chance to fight against that. But with something that ignores resistance, that completely resets your skills, that makes it so you really can't do anything, it is, like, what's the point, right? The whole purpose of PvP is to have interaction with another player. If I wanted to play PvE, quite frankly, I probably wouldn't be playing E7 for its PvE content. I'd probably be playing something else for PvE. And, yeah, I would just, it's just playing by myself, essentially. So, I don't know. I really don't know at this point. Hopefully something's done, but there's no guarantees, right? Traditionally, if Smilegate does do something for a unit, oh, look, we got a Spark. So happy. Traditionally, if Smilegate does do something, it's overkill, like Hua Young. Like, back in the day, they absolutely neutered, oh, it's a 5-star. Oh, actually, we got our artifact. That's pretty good. I did want our artifact, so that's nice. I don't have to buy it from the shop, I guess. I love this. I love the fact that this cannot be activated by counterattack, dual attack, or extra attack, and meanwhile she just shuts down the entire ability to do all of those things, which is pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts on her. Now you guys know, I never really had such a visceral reaction to a unit being released before in this game, so I thought that they would not do it. I thought they would be like, ah, you know, we've made Lua, we learned from our mistakes, let's not re-release the most pre-banned unit in the entire game. But no, they decided to go ahead and carry forward with it, which is quite surprising. quite surprising, because Smilegate is actually okay at listening to player feedback, and while it takes some time for game developers to react and make changes, because you do gotta test some things, and make sure that the changes you're making are not just gonna upset the balance even more, upset your players even more, you know, it takes time to correct. But, oh boy, whatever this development team is doing, I have no idea. But again, whatever they're smoking, I kind of want some of that. Speaking of things that I also want, I want to not pity, but I guess we're getting there. So there's nothing I can really do about it. Do we get anything here? Oh, okay. It's a fake out. We got another 4-star. And that's about it. Wow, we were getting shafted. Maybe it's because I'm been bashing Smilegate so much in this video. But yeah, let's go refresh shop, and we'll be back with a few more bookmarks. Alright, we are back, as you can see, at 9999 Skystones, but we did trade some in for some bookmarks here. Refresh some shop, got a couple mystics as well, but not as many as I would hope for. So we'll try to attempt for ML Shu sometime soon again. And try our luck there. Alright, ended up getting an Armin with this multi. Let's see if we get anything else here. Nope. Alright, I think it's because I've been talking pretty bad about Smilegate, so maybe if I say something like, bless Smilegate, best game company ever. Oh my god, we're gonna get a 5-star? No way! Is it the rate up? Oh my god, look at what we just pulled. Absolutely insane. One thing I will say that I really like about her is the artwork. They redesigned her, right, from her NPC art, and her sprite looks absolutely amazing as well. I hope we see more characters with this kind of aesthetic, you know, like Sharoon and Nockwall, right? The kind of flowy, frilly kind of aesthetic. I really like it. It's really nice, and a good change of pace from some of the other outfits we've been seeing lately. But yeah, that means that now that we got her and her artifact, surprisingly, it's time to go and jump into some showcases. Alright guys, so it's time for our first showcase of the video. We're going to this team right here with Handguy, Aola, Bellion, and Bellona. I chose this defense team specifically because Aola is on the other side. Now Bellion is also there, which means I can't soul burn to ignore resistance on my Narkwall, but that's okay. Nockwall. I want to say Narwhal so bad, but no. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. My build is on a 297 speed. I basically took all my para gear to put on her to test her out, and we currently have her on Guiding Light. She's rocking a bit of effectiveness, and I only put Molas in the S3. I don't really care about the S1 as of right now. We'll see if she deserves more Molas later on. But yeah, that's my build, and we're going to jump into it after I show you the rest of the units that I'm bringing. Strazi is going to be here. He's going to be great as an AoE unit. Going to be pretty good, especially because Nockwall basically nullifies Aola, prevents her from activating her S2 if you can get the bind on her. And if we do get that, then that means we can throw AoEs, and there's not going to be a skill null coming out, which is pretty good. Closer Charles is over here to help as follow-up damage. And then, of course, we have Lilius over here, which we're going to bring in for some extra DPS and just to try to one-shot whoever Strazi doesn't. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this and see how it goes. Hopefully, we can land the bind on this Aola. And if we don't, then so be it, right? So let's go ahead and hope for the best. We do get an extra turn just by popping the skill. Look at that beautiful animation. Alright, there we go. Got the binds. Now, Bellion did not get binded, so she can actually use her S2 there. What I can do here, now this S2 doesn't strip, it just seals somebody for 2 turns before attacking, and then increases speed, right? So what we can do is seal the Bellona. Okay, go for this. She's binded and sealed. So, not only does she not get Fighting Spirit, if she does get Fighting Spirit, she can't do anything with it. Let's go ahead and use our Lilius into this Bellion, try to one-shot her, because she's the only unit here that's not binded. Everyone else doesn't have any chance to do any shenanigans. Ooh, very, very close there. Not quite killing, but that's okay. That's what Closer Charles is here for. So he's going to come in and finish things off. He's also going to push up my Lilius so we can turn cycle. But look at this. AoE's coming out. Nothing that Aola can do to stop it. And let's just pop the S3. This should kill Handguy. He should be the highest HP unit left on the opponent's side. But the AoE should be able to kill everybody. Oh yeah, there we go. So, right? She enables some pretty dumb things into defense teams like Aola right there. Right? Let's go ahead and jump into another one and see what she's capable of. Alright, let's take a look at the second team that we're going to be fighting. There's a Zio on the other side, which is going to be great because my Knockwall is on Guiding Light, so we won't get targeted. The next fastest unit on my team is going to be Lilius, who is here at 265 speed. She'll get hit by the Zio, but we have Troublemaker Crozet here protecting her in the back line, sharing some damage, and he has Hilag Lance, which is going to push his combat readiness up, and he has his S2, which will also push his combat readiness up by 25% total. At 230 something speed, you should be fast enough to be able to cut after Zio goes, and then push your DPS in the back up, and then she'll be able to take the turn, right? So that's going to be pretty nice for us. We'll see how that goes. I am going to bring in Rylet as well. Rylet's going to be pretty decent in terms of fighting all the AoE on the other side and for just DPSing into this anti-crit Bellion and Landy. Hopefully we strip all the anti-crits and stuff though with Knockwall. And if we can bind the Bellion and the Landy, they won't be able to counterattack. And hopefully we'll be able to seal the Ravi so that she won't be able to use her fighting spirit. Okay, so let's go into this and test her out. Let's see what we can do. Again, this is an absolutely disgusting unit, even though she does have weaknesses, right? You can definitely not take her into stuff like Eden or Rylet. You know, you don't want to hit the evasion units necessarily, especially Eden. And you also really don't want to be fighting ice units, because it's a 50-50 shot as to whether or not you reset them. Now, does that mean that all ice units are going to be a must-ban if you're using Knockwall? Not necessarily. If you're playing RTA, sometimes you're going to take that 50-50 gamble, right, and see if you can land it. So we do actually go before Lilius, which is very nice. I want to make sure that we bind everyone first. So let's see how many 15% we get over here. Alright, we do get a 15% in the form of a Ravi, but in the end, it should be fine. Look at this. Landy can't do anything. No counterattacks, right? Bellion can't do anything. No counterattacks. Zio can still do stuff on his turn. Bind only prevents people from moving when it's not their turn. So let's go ahead and seal this Ravi here. Seal before you attack, because that's fair. And there you go. We got the speed buff, so we should be turn cycling quite quickly. Let's go for an S3. Who do we go into? We could probably just go into the Ravi, I'll be honest. Do we want to do that? Probably. I probably should have sealed somebody else then. Maybe sealed the Bellion. But didn't think that through. Proof of Valor might not kill though. Right, there we go. 24k. So it doesn't kill. That is perfectly fine. And we'll go with Rylet. We have an attack buff from the Lilius, so I might as well just go for an S1. There's no reason to waste an S3 here when I don't need it. Let's see if we can push back the... I think Bellion got reset. Yep, Bellion got reset, and Landy doesn't have turn cooldowns. She's going to go for an S1, which I think I'm okay with. I just want to go and hit this Zio back. See, Elbrus proccing on the other side does not matter at all. Let's go with an S1 here into the Bellion. See, counterattack, Elbrus, nothing matters anymore. This unit is so stupid. Wow. Normally you have to bring Astromancer Elena for her unique passive, right, to stop counterattacks, but yeah, here we are. Let's try to stun the Zio. Nope, it's not going to work. We're going to lap, because that is fair. Look at this, 2-turn cooldown. Look how fast we've already gotten this thing up, right? We sealed the Ravi earlier, so let's go for this. Let's seal the... we can honestly seal the Landy. Let's just go for it. No reason not to. You can also seal the Zio, but I don't think he's going to be doing all that much to me. Oh, nice. Very good stun in return. And let's just keep hitting the... Landy's going to move. He's going to attack Troublemaker Crozet. That's okay. Let's finish off the Bellion. Not that she's any major threat to me at all. But I do want to start generating souls. Now see, when it's her turn, Landy can do salvo, which is nice, but you know, she can't do anything when it's not her turn, so you can just hit her for free, right? Free pot shots into her. And let's just go with an S1. Let's S1 into the Zio. Alright, and this will proc the extra hit, so we'll go into the Landy. We do get a crit. So yeah, look at that. We basically stopped our opponent from doing any counters, any Elbruses. and you just got game, right? I had my S3 back up, by the way, so I could have done it again, but decided to just go for the S1 there, because we're already winning this. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, don't know how to feel about this unit. Don't know how to feel about this unit, but let's keep testing her out. Let's get more clips. Alright, so jumping into our next little test session here, I guess you can call it. We're going to be going up against Luluka, LRK, ML Landy, and Karina. It's actually something that you might see in RTA, and I'm going to be bringing in a relatively aggressive team. So we got Knockwall over here, same build as before. We're still using Guiding Light. I'm going to try to go into Guiding Light so that we can avoid the Karina S3. If we get hit, though, it doesn't really matter all too much. Lilius is still over here. She's going to be one-shotting the LRK. And we're also bringing in Lethes because she can help deal with the high tankiness of a unit like Karina by trying to one-shot her. The other thing is we're bringing in Spectre Tenebria, and I should probably do something like this to make the best use of our defense imprint, but we're bringing in Spectre Tenebria because she's a book holder, but also because she's a very common unit that you guys probably have from your Moonlight Selector. But yeah, we're going to jump into it with this. Mine's a Lifesteal build. It doesn't really matter all too much. Just want a unit that can hold book and that can also deal some damage, right? So the thing with Knockwall is that we can reset this Luluka as well, because we can just soul burn her S3 and just ignore resistance. Now if we hit the Karina, great. If we don't, it's fine. If we do hit her, it actually prevents her S2 from activating. Okay, see, look, that's absolutely disgusting, right? Now you prevent her S2 from activating, which is awful. We can try to seal somebody here, so we can try to seal LRK. If you seal LRK, actually, then he won't be able to get the cooldown reduction. Luluka can't cleanse here as well, right? So let us go for either LRK or we go for Landy. Landy doesn't really matter all too much with her passive over here, right? I mean, I guess you can actually seal her and then you can stun her and stuff, but yeah, let's go. Actually, let's seal the Landy. Let's get rid of the anti-crit on her. Or she can resist, that's also fine. So, there we go. Why didn't they put another Soul Burn for Ignore Resistance S2? I think they should have gone for something like that. We can, yeah, let's go for the LRK here. We should be able to kill. If we don't, it's fine. But attack buff Lily is, as long as this is not an Adamant Shield LRK, yep, we do kill. Now, Karina does get to push up, but notice how she doesn't activate her defense buff, right? She doesn't activate defense buff barrier, none of those shenanigans happening, and now we just get free reign. We get a free soul burn here if we want to. Luluka, did she go yet? I think she did. So I'm gonna go for an S1. S1's gonna give me a speed buff, and with a speed buff, I think we're gonna be pretty good here. Landy's gonna get cleansed by this Luluka next turn, so I don't want that to happen. Let's go ahead and S3. If we had sealed the Landy, we could actually stun her here. Or, I mean, we could just also crit her, that's fine. I guess Lilius will crit and just finish her off then. Alright. Let's see if we can hit this Luluka. Nope, she's going to resist. Luluka's usually built with pretty high resistance, so that's perfectly fine. I am going to, yeah, look at that, to counter Karina as well. Just going to stack some Omens on the Karina. Luluka can out cleanse and do her skills, but look how much time we bought. We killed 2 units. They couldn't even take a turn. Granted, yes, my units are quite fast. But even then, right, it is absolutely disgusting what we're capable of doing when the opponent just loses an entire turn to play. They can only S1. So, yep, we die there, but that is perfectly fine. Kind of deserve to die there anyway. And we'll just go into this Karina. Let us go and break the, well, not break the skill null, but let's go for a hit onto the... Ooh! Oh! We're gonna die here. Yeah, let me go and hit the Ice Cream buff away from the Luluka, so then now we can go with Lethes S3, and we can go for the S1. This should be able to kill, and it's pretty much done, right? Even though we lost a couple units there, you saw we probably would have died earlier with the Karina being able to counter and all that stuff too. Landy there, of course, having the chance to hit something with like Elbrus or the counterattack, but we had none of that. We were very safe into this, and now look, it is just the Luluka against 2 hard-hitting units, and Lethe's gonna probably finish things off. Yeah, in the end, I think she's gonna be quite nasty for something like Guild Wars especially, so if you want to see her used in Guild Wars, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Might be taking her out for a spin in RTA, but I can already smell all of the pre-bans and post-bans. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care.